Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic / Non-Classic. This is episode number 385, and Doubleshot number 309. Okay, two Batman trades. First up is Batman Legacy, Book 1. This book collects Batman 533, Batman Shadow of the Bat number 53, Catwoman Volume 2, issues 33, 35. And Detective Comics 697 and 700. Oh, and of course also Robin Volume 4, issue 31. A majority of the books in this trade, basically Catwoman, Detective Comics, and Robin are all written by Chuck Dixon. Shadow of the Bat, Alan Grant, and of course, and Batman's written by Doug Moak. Yes, the Batman issues, the artwork for those issues are all done by Graham Nolan. Yeah, Graham Nolan does all four Detective Comics issues. The Catwoman issues are done by Jim Ballant. Anybody can tell that simply by the fact the guy does a Terror, which is a Black Rose. He does all three Catwoman issues. Yep. Yes. Yeah. Let's see. The Robin issue was done by Mike Waynergo. I think that's how you pronounce the guy's name. Yeah, he's the one who does the Robin issue. Shadow of the Bat. That one is done by Dave Taylor. The Batman issue, even the cover art is done by, anybody can tell that's Kelly Jones' artwork, but the interior is done by the late Jim Aparo. Yeah, this is Jim Aparo artwork. The late Jim Aparo. He does the artwork for the Batman issue. And 700. Yeah, it's done by Graham Nolan. Now, most of this, almost all the issues in this trade, except for the last three, are simply just unrelated. Like the first three issues in here, it's just a three-parter dealing with the character Lockup. This is, of course, just prior to Legacy. Batman taking him down along with several villains who he captured. Yeah, some people remember Lockup from the Batman animated series. They brought him into DC Universe prior to this storyline. They have him guest star in this issue. Robbie, yeah, Chuck Dixon brought him to DC Universe. So, yeah, they brought him in. The reason why you can't see the cover very well is because the cover is colored in red. Yeah, and this is actually a new printing of the Legacy storyline. Yeah, this second printing of it. Then you have the Catwoman three-parter that comes right after that. That kind of leads into the Legacy stuff. Then starting with Robin, starting with that issue and the next four issues in this trade, with the exception of issue 700. The next three issues simply prelude. Like first it's Robin, then it's Shadow of the Bat, which continues right where Robin left off, and then continues in Batman. Then it concludes in Detective Comics number 700, which is revealed that Bane is working for Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, and this storyline is a sequel to Contagion. Yeah, it was a virus that was ravaging around Gotham City. So yeah, so basically, like, I would say about a year later they decided to do a follow-up to this, but it's nice that DC actually threw in there not only three Catwoman issues, which kind of lead into the Legacy storyline, but also they threw in there the three issues of Detective Comics, issues 697 to 699. They threw those three issues in there because they took place prior to, and the ending of it does kind of help set up the prelude for the Legacy storyline, because the former mayor of Gotham, who was actually infected with the plague, the virus that was actually affecting Gotham City during the Contagion storyline, apparently the plague is back, and Tim was actually infected with it as well. So yeah, also Huntress shows up in here as well. She comes in as simply somebody to fill in for Batman while he goes overseas with Robin and Nightwing. Robin at this point is Tim Drake, not Damian Wayne. They go overseas to try to find a cure, which, and Azrael shows up in here as well. He doesn't do very much at this point in the storyline, but he's nice it up. But this book is great. I can't wait for book 2 to come out to see what happens next, even though I've read the storyline already. But yeah, it's a great storyline, and I give this one a 9 out of 10. I should also point out this is also sort of a semi follow-up to Nightfall. Okay. Next up is Batman by Brian K. Vaughan. Excuse me. Which contains Batman 588 to 590, Detective Comics 787, Batman Gotham City Secret Files #1, and Wonder Woman Volume 2 issues 60 to 160 and 161. Now the way this works out is that Batman Detective Comics, those two are printed first, then Wonder Woman, then Gotham City Files. Now the thing about Batman Gotham City Secret Files, there's only one story printed in here, and it's the Skullduggery story, and it's 5 pages. So if you're thinking that you're going to get the entire Gotham City Secret Files, nope, you just get a 5-page story. And Brian K. Vaughan writes all the issues. Yeah, it's mentioned here. Yeah, everything is written here by Brian K. Vaughan. The Close Before the Striking, that's the Batman 3-parter. That's done by Scott McDaniel, who's also known for doing Nightwing at this point. I don't know why he was doing 2 books at the same time. It's just really odd. And Nightwing actually appears in that story. Yeah, it's all for Matt Matches Malone. Apparently the real one showed up, and apparently he actually dies in the story. Yeah, I think that Brian K. Vaughan just wanted to follow up with him, so that's the reason why they brought him back and let him die. Rick Burchett does the comic issue. Nibsy were Morgavs. A Piece of You was done by Scott Knowles. That is actually the Wonder Woman 2-parter. And Skullduggery, that's done by Marcos Martin. Yeah. Yeah, and this is something that I complained about in the last one. Take a look at this bottom of this page. What do you see here? Credits. Yes, credits. You don't see this for Flash. Okay, here are the credits you get in here. You get one for Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, Matches Malone, of course, special agreements by Jerry Siegel family. Yeah, but you don't get that for Flash. Yeah, I know that's a minor complaint about the Flash trades, but I think they should throw it in there. But yeah, but despite that tiny little nitpick I have, the fact that this has credits and yet Flash doesn't, which is really odd. But despite that, all the stories in here are really good. Yeah, the Clayface 2-parter in Wonder Woman. Yeah, it's actually quite interesting. And basically, Brian K. Vaughan did those 2 issues. Now, he says chronologically he did the Wonder Woman 2-parter. Yeah, there's actually a letter in here, a forward, which he writes. He says he did the, let's see, where is he saying here? He says he did the Wonder Woman 2-parter first. He wrote that first. Then he did the Skullduggery story, which is actually the artist who did that story. He also did with him Doctor Strange the Ultimate storyline. Then he did the 3-parter with Matches Malone and Batman. Then of course he did Detective Comics. Now, when people think of Brian K. Vaughan, what usually comes to mind when people think of this writer? Y the Last Man and Saga. That's usually it. That's usually first 2 books people think of when they think of Brian K. Vaughan. What people tend to forget, though, is that he also created the Runaways. Yes, he created the Runaways from Marvel. He also did a run for Swamp Thing, which DC put into trade recently. Yeah, it's only 20 issues in 2 books, so it won't be very long to get through it. Let's see. What else did he do? Let me think. Brian K. Vaughan. Let me think. Originally, this was printed as Batman Face to Faces. Yeah, that was the original name of the trade, and then they decided to reprint it as, well, Batman by Brian K. Vaughan, and yeah, and all they did was simply, yeah, essentially it's the same trade as Batman Face to Face. Heck, the cover is exactly the same. It's the same format, but slightly different. And I should point out though, Batman and Wonder Woman do not team up on this trade. Yeah, the cover is a complete lie. Yeah. The only reason why they threw in the one... Now, pretty much, even though, yeah, this is Batman by Brian K. Vaughan, the only reason why Wonder Woman is in here, because that was his first contribution to the DC Universe, and plus also, it features Clayface, so I figured, oh, why not throw it in there? And plus, Nightwing's in the story along with Donna Troy, so why not? It's actually really good 2-parter. Yeah, it's only like, what, 5 issues? Plus a short story. Yeah, it's really quick. It's not that thin it's very thin of a trade. This is how thin it is. And this is basically Brian K. Vaughan's contribution to the DC Universe. this is of course in-universe stories. His Swamp Thing was under Vertigo along with Why the Last Man. He currently does Saga, and he does Paper Girls. Those two books he does right now, which by the way, both of them are really good. Saga's getting critical acclaim right now, but yeah. If you're a Brian K. Vaughan fan, I highly recommend checking this out because, well, it's Brian K. Vaughan. They're all really good stories, and plus as a reference to Sins of Youth storyline when Wonder Woman gets briefly de-aged because of Clayface taking briefly part of her clay. This was of course her original origin story before Brian Azzarello changed it, where she's a demigod daughter of Zeus. Yeah, they gave her Cassandra Sandmark's backstory, and Donna Troy is the one who basically is the one who gets the clay backstory. Yeah, seriously, they swap around stories. Like, yeah, currently in each universe, basically Cassie Sandmark's backstory of who her parentage is, they give up the Wonder Woman for some reason. Cassie's father is Wonder Woman's half brother who got killed off during Brian Azzarello's run. And as for Donna Troy, she gets Wonder Woman's classic origin story, basically made of clay, though she was used for evil. But that's Meredith Finch for you. Yeah, it's actually a really good story. I highly recommend checking out Meredith Finch's run for Wonder Woman. But this is really good. I highly recommend it. I give this a 9 out of 10. Alright, that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode, which is episode 386 and Doubleshot number 310. Okay? But until then, I will see you there. Bye.